players sort of trying a position at the pro level for the first time. I know you talked about it yesterday, but like going from wing to center for a young player, what does success look like in that spot?
He's played. We're talking Connor. I'm thinking he's played center last year for us. He played center in the American League, so it's not his first time playing center. So. The mentality, I think, is the biggest thing for him when he has the puck. Be Connor. I mean, don't change anything about your game when you don't have the puck. Just make sure you're good and strong with your details. That's really all it comes down to.
Talk about Connor in the middle. What do you need to see from the two veterans flanking him?
I think Jonathan needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's been really good away from the puck this year, and I feel like it's just a matter of time. I really do. Sharon, I think the move for him, trying to get him out of the middle to free him up to make his reads as to when he can leave the zone a little quicker, when he can give himself a little bit more space to be able to get his shot away. He's had some chances over the last little while, but we feel like putting him in a different position might open him up a little bit more. So it's making sure he's getting himself into positions to shoot is the big thing for him.
How big of a deal for Connor and the rest of your centers is just face-offs and the details that start right there?
Yeah, it's a good question, and that's been one of the Achilles heels for our team. And there's nothing more frustrating for a coach that when you come back after the first period and you see you're sitting at 30%, and then at the end of the game you've found a way to work your way up to 47 or 48, where that makes zero sense to me. So if you're willing to dig in as the game goes on, why aren't you digging in for every face-off prior to that? So it is an important thing for our team in an area that we most definitely have to improve in.
A week or two ago, Andrei Kuzmenko was pretty hard on himself, saying, I need a score. We've seen him, the assist on the Huberdeau goal a couple games ago. Where is his game at?
Well, it's not, I don't think, where he would like it to be. And, of course, he's a player that we do need to be generating for us. That's the strength of his game. At the same time, when you're it's not falling for you or the offense isn't there, you want to be good at the other areas of your game. So if it isn't in a stretch where you're not finding the looks or the chances that you would like to have, then you better be good with your details, and that's our challenge with him right now. For offensive players, they go through streaks or stretches like this, and he's going to come out of it, but while he's in it, he just makes sure that the other parts of his game are good.
Are you seeing progress with the details there?
Getting there, yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about the starts. I know it was the end of a tough stretch on Tuesday, but are you happier with the starts in the last couple of games?
Sure. I mean, and I've talked about it before. It always gets made into a really big story. I get it. But there's times where we've come out and we've been the better team for the first 5 minutes of a period and we take a penalty. So is the start that bad when we're controlling the first 5 minutes? So at the end of the day, for our team to be successful, it's about the full body of work, and we have to be a 60-minute team. There is no room for our team to have any shortcuts or taking a little bit of time off at any portion of the game. We have to make sure we're all in.
Ryan, what's given, as Justin Kirkland tries to go from really feel-good story of the fall to now I want to be a fixture, I want that staying power. What have you seen in his game of late?
He hasn't really changed it. I felt like there was a few games back where maybe he got, I don't like using the word comfortable, but he started feeling good with where he's at. And I feel like a player like Justin has maybe one of the hardest jobs because he doesn't have the luxury to have an off day because people continually look at him and, hey, well, maybe he's not quite an NHL player yet, or maybe he's just had a really good stretch. So I think it's important that he keeps making sure that his preparation is good and he understands that he has to be an everyday guy. There's no room for him to take his foot off the gas until he's proven himself for a full season. So it's a hard job for someone like Justin who's really trying to solidify himself in the lineup, but I do think he's done a very good job with that.
You mentioned after the game in Vancouver that you didn't like the back end as a whole. What didn't you like, and what do you want to see more from them?
I thought they were slow with the puck in a lot of times, and I thought it was Vancouver, it was way too easy for them to get to the front of our net. So we have to do a better job early on of working to keep people away from our goaltender's eyes, or his sight line, I can say.
What strikes you about Nashville, the way they're playing right now?
I don't know about the way they're playing. They're a team that has a lot of offensive weapons. I think they have one of the best defensemen in the NHL. And they can come at you in a lot of different ways, or they can play the game in a lot of different ways. So our team has to be ready to play, just like anyone else that we're playing against. The priority and focus is always on what we have to do to make sure we're successful, and that's staying true to the style of play that we have to have every night.
I think it was in the game notes that there are 5 guys in this game who played for the Kelowna Rockets. Is that? I mean, I guess my question is that kind of neat for you to be able to?
Sure. I mean, I know a lot of these guys, and I think it's pretty exciting for Bruce Hamilton in Kelowna for sure, because it speaks a lot to his organization and what he's been able to do over the years. And another guy that played in Nashville for a long time was Shea Weber, who was recently was a Hall of Fame guy now. But it's neat. I mean, all these guys were fortunate to be part of a really good junior organization, and it's nice to see a lot of them having success now.